Welcome back, ARK players, to a brand new video. Now, today we kind of have like a part two of ARK sort of getting more and more bad news. And some people may see this as good news. I don't know. It's very mixed in the community, but we're going to be jumping into it and talking about what's going on. Now, if you do enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here, as it means quite a lot to me. And let's get into today's video. So the motivation behind me actually making this video was from the motivation of this creator on the screen getting motivation from me, if that makes sense. Because I pretty much on my YouTube recommended this morning, I just watched this video and it was like the sad and broken state of ARK. And it was like, obviously my video today is more about Snail Games, and so was that video, but I really liked this guy was sort of like breaking down my video, talking about things, and I like seeing it from like real-time long experienced players who love the game and who've been around for such a long time explaining their thoughts and feelings on things, because it's it's upsetting to see many sort of long-term dedicated ARK players feeling the same and feeling upset over certain situations. Now, if you don't know what has been going on recently, I've talked about it a couple of times about Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear. Actually was one of the first ones to post this out on Twitter, which was about ARK's publisher Snail Games receiving a compliance notice from NASDAQ due to their stock falling below $1 a share for the past 30 business days. And pretty much over the last couple of days, I was talking about how Snail Games stock was actually rising, and they managed to get it to, I think it was like 90 cents. And they were getting closer to that $1 a share mark. And as checking today, it's been dropping again. Now, this means they're now down to 0.83. And this is really bad news because, as you can see, the drop over the last day, and to be honest, over the last sort of 5 days since I made my video, it just started to drop more and more and more. And I guess we sort of sit here and think, what is next for the game? Because obviously, from what I know, I'm not too sure. It's like, if we read through some of this, just so we can get some information, for the last 30 consecutive business days, from May 10th, 24 to June 26th, 2024, the bid price of the company's common stock has closed below the minimum $1 per share requirement. And I guess they get removed or something, right? If this is what happens if they stay below over a certain amount of time. And I'm at this point thinking, how are Snail going to get their stock above $1? Because Aberration, right, doesn't come out until September 4th. And I don't know what else really is going to boost the income from ARK at the moment for the publishers, because it's one of those things where it's like, yes, there's premium mods being sold at the moment, but obviously that's not really at a crazy rate, especially as ARK Survival Ascended player count is, not at the best possible situation it can be at. I think, we're sort of getting between 15 to 25,000 players on Survival Ascended, and Survival Evolved is getting between 30,000 and 40,000. And it's just not enough money for premium mods on its own anymore. If ARK was still Survival Evolved and it had between 60 to 80,000 players concurrently on the game every day, they would probably be making much nicer sales with the premium mods. But with the split between both of the games, it's just not looking good. So obviously someone with a little bit more experience, you can explain to me what happens if this consistently stays below the $1 mark. Again, as I said, I thought, is it something to do with being removed off of the stock market? I don't even know. It's not my strong point in this, but all I know is it isn't good news. Now, moving on from this, let's say something happens to Snail and if it obviously doesn't link with ARK anymore, which is what they're never going to want to do that, because ARK is their, that ARK is their moneymaker, right? And ARK is the game that makes it's one of the top 10 games in the world easily. I know it's not got the player count, but between the two games, there's still like 50 to, no, more than that. There's still like 60 to 70,000 players concurrently just on Steam between the two games. And the thing is, they're not going to want to lose it. But if they just keep dropping down, who comes in next, right? I've heard like people saying Microsoft need to buy them. Powerworld recently formed Powerworld Entertainment and joined with Sony, right? Or was it Sony Music or something? I can't actually remember, but so it kind of like leaves you to be in a position of like, what does the game do next after this? Because I thought it was going to be rising and rising and rising, and I definitely did not think it was going to randomly start dropping again. But as I said, with Aberration coming out in September, Bob's Tall Tales, everyone's kind of bought Bob's Tall Tales already. You know, where else can I see the money come in? They're trying to release Fantastic Creatures, which some people are refusing to buy because they don't like the pay to win side of things. But even then, that's only around about $5. And the cosmetic packs are cool, but I think they do need one that's a little bit more like a Jurassic World to really, I think that would sell very well. But obviously we don't know how much the cost behind that would be to get that licensing and everything. So yeah, pretty much guys, that is going to be today's video. It's pretty sad that I remember I saw a comment the other day and it was like, remember when you and a bunch of other creators were talking about how ARK is dying and it's still here? And it's like, 100% fact here is ARK has died down, 100%. Is it ever going to completely go away? No, because you've got your dedicated fan base that love this game. No matter what the devs put you through, there's always going to be players that are going to love it. Can ARK come back? Yeah, I mean, when a new DLC comes out, it does pretty well still on Ascended, you know. And so ARK is always going to be around, and ARK will never die. Being honest with you guys, ARK will never completely die. As long as the game is being supported, new maps are being added in, the game will never die. It will always be somewhere in the gaming community. It's got dinosaurs, it's got survival, it's what everyone loves. The only time ARK could physically completely die is if someone else came out with a dinosaur survival game and it was 10 times better than ARK. It had less problems than ARK. That's the only way ARK would ever die, is if someone came along with a much better game and the devs were better and things like that. And would I want that to happen? I'd say yeah, just because I believe that when there's no real competition for your game, you get comfortable. And do I believe ARK has got comfortable over the years? 100%. Because Powerworld came out, absolutely smashed it, but unfortunately it's just not got as much as ARK does have in it, and it's also not like exactly the same. It's not dinosaurs. So if like a massive new game came out, dinosaur survival game, many have tried it, but many have failed, and it's because ARK have the perfect foundations behind it. But if one day someone did release a dinosaur survival game that had less problems than ARK, had a great dev team, they would be in trouble. But from now on, in the near future, unfortunately, we're probably going to be in a similar position with ARK. The game's going to be breaking a lot. The DLCs are going to be coming out, but I just hope that in the near future, we can start to see more success. Another thing on the Snail Games stock is that ARK 2 is something coming in the near future. That will sell like crazy, whether hopefully it's good enough, because obviously people would end up getting refunds if it's not. But that will sell like crazy. But do they have enough time to get to ARK 2's release? I don't know, but we will find out. I'll catch you guys in my next video very soon, and see you guys later.